Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris. In today's episode, I'll be talking a little bit about having to travel when you've got kids. No, not kids. Pets. Because the kids are a lot easier to bring, if anything. But first, a fair warning. You might hear me... I'm a little snotty today, again. And so I just wanted to warn you that I might end up making the mistake of just, sniffing inward and making that disgusting sound. And as always, I don't cut this, so it's just something you're going to have to live with. I appreciate you being able to live with it, though. And I really do apologize. I will try to focus on not doing it at all. And that's enough talking about mucus inside my head. Actually, no. One quick thing. If anyone can answer this, what's the difference between snot and mucus? Just if someone's got the answer ready. Right. Moving on to the pets and the subject that at least someone might want to participate in. Unlike the previous one. Having to travel for a couple of months this summer is great, and I'm really looking forward to it. But one thing that's been troubling me a lot is the fact that I have a cat. I can't just leave the little guy at home for 8 weeks, because I'll be gone for 8 weeks. And also 8 weeks is a long time for anyone to take care of him. I found out that I had to put down, I think maybe $1,000 American dollars. I'm gonna be doing these things in Canadian dollars because I can relate to them, but I think it's about 1,000. But I'd have to put down more than 1,200 Canadian dollars in order to have him taken care of for 2 months. That is a lot of money. That's almost as much as my plane tickets cost in total, and it is more than half of what my stay is going to cost me. So this is approximately a third, actually, of the total price. I'm not gonna pay a third of the total price just to have a cat taken care of. He's a cat, for crying out loud. He is the most independent animal ever. To the point where it's actually kind of annoying. But at the same time, you can't just leave him alone. He needs socialization. He needs interaction. So what do? Well, for starters, I have decided to invest a couple of $100 in an automatic feeding machine, and also in what's it called, I don't really know. It's a water fountain. Is what I was trying to... Sorry, I got distracted by the thought that I think I might have accidentally ordered a feeding machine that's a little larger than it needs to be. I was just thinking, I think I ordered a 6-liter instead of a 4-liter. And that's going to be a big machine with lots of feeding. But I guess that's kind of the point. And at the same time, it's just it's slightly taller. So, same difference. At least I can fill it up. And just spend a bunch of money, fill the machine up, and then he's fed. And the thing is, the $1,200 would be dollars that I just have to spend one time, and then that's it. Whereas here, I've spent $200 investing in something that might be good for him. And for me, of course, because not having to feed him every morning, but instead just having to fill this machine up whenever is pretty great. Though I admit that I definitely ordered it in the wrong size. That's... whatever, we live to regret things, and it's not like I regret it that much, because there isn't that much to regret when it all comes down to it. It's just a bigger machine. Things don't always have to fit the exact specifications of what we need. Sometimes it's fine that they are a bit beyond, or even slightly below. But these machines are going to be good for him. They're going to be good for me, not just while I travel, but in general. I found out that cats are opportunistic drinkers, and I have had a cat for 9 years. I never realized this, but he's like me. If I don't have water available, I don't go to get water. Apparently, he doesn't either, and that makes a lot of sense because I'm supposed to have the big brains that allows me to go. It's a smart thing to do, and still I don't. And I suppose they like running water better than water that stands still. And yes, I guess that makes sense again. And also this thing has filters and all those things, so it's gonna be cleaner and better tasting or something like that. Anyway, that's one thing. So now he can be alone for a little while. But I still can't leave him alone because first of all, the machines don't have enough capacity to last for 8 weeks. And second, even if they did, what about his litter box? And what about playtime? He still needs someone to cuddle with. He still needs someone to play with. He's gonna go insane if he's alone for 8 weeks. He's gonna think I'm dead. And, you know, I then ordered some... There's this really expensive cat litter. Like, super expensive. But it's also really great. It doesn't smell like anything at all. It's super fine. And he likes the fine stuff better than the coarse stuff. He doesn't like having the tiny crystals that some people use for their litter. He doesn't like that. He prefers sand. But the sand is very expensive. It also lasts a long time, and it stays clean longer in that it clumps better and it smells less. So, yeah, I'm gonna be spending the next couple of months just timing things. I'm gonna try to push it, like see how long can I let the litter box sit? How long does the feeding machine last? And how long does the water thingy last? And so, yeah, that should be covered. But I still need someone to come. I still need someone to fill up the water, fill up the food, cuddle him, change the litter. Well, it doesn't have to be changed every time, but at least clean the litter. And I'm hoping that I just need someone to come by once or twice a week. It's not optimal. It really isn't. And I know that a lot of dog owners, animal owners, I was about to say dog and cat owners, but I think all kinds of animal owners are gonna be at my throat about this. And I get it. Trust me, I do. And I feel horrible about it, and I was actually planning on trying to convince my friend's daughter, who's 15 years old soon. I was planning on trying to convince her to come live in my apartment while I'm gone. She doesn't have to stay here permanently, but just, give her a key, and her only responsibility is take care of the cat. For the rest of it, she can have friends over, she can be with her boyfriend. I don't care. I just don't want things to get dirty, They should clean up after themselves. But other than that, I don't mind at all. Take care of the cat, clean up after yourself, and don't break anything. Then you can have the entire apartment to yourself for 2 months. That's gonna be the offer I give her. And hopefully she'll bite. Hopefully she'll be like, yes, I would love that. But you never know. Never know. So I do need a backup plan. And that's where all of this comes into play. There's this thing that she's 15. she's a responsible 15-year-old, yes, but she only just turns 15 in a little more than a month. And so, responsible or not, she's still just a teenager. And getting her to change it every single day would mean having to live here or go here every single day. And that's too much to ask. So the feeding machine, the good litter, the water fountain, it's all still, pretty important. And also, like I said, it's going to benefit me on the other side, because he does tend to meow at me a lot, especially in the morning. He's like, feed me, feed me. I don't want to feed him in the morning, because then he just gets used to me getting up and feeding him when he meows at me. That's not something to enforce. But I'm really stressed out about all of this, and I'm going to have a hard time being away from home. So the backup plan, in case my friend's daughter doesn't bite, well, that is to simply ask my mum. To tell her, look, Mum, I know this is a lot to ask you, but you're on vacation for a few weeks over summer. And I'll try to figure something out in the meantime. But while you're not on vacation, I need you to drive by my place at least twice a week and just make sure that he's okay. And, hopefully she'll be willing to do that. Otherwise, I'm kind of effed. And it's so frustrating, because I never even wanted a cat to begin with. I just found him. I found him down by the freeway. I don't know if I've told that story, but I was out for a walk and at night, and then I found him. Tiny, tiny kitten. Very dirty. Very malnourished. He'd been out there for a little while. And so I took him home, fed him, all that, cleaned him up, all that stuff. Couldn't find somewhere for him to stay, and then we kept him. Now I've had a cat for 9 years. And sure, I love him. I'm not gonna rid myself of him. But I'll be damned if I'm not going to be the best owner in the world once I come back from this trip, because he deserves that. He's a good kitten. I don't know why I just called him a kitten. He's a good kitty, a little kitty cat. Well, whatever. The point I'm making is, traveling in and of itself is scary when you've never really done it before. I've traveled, yes, but I've never traveled alone. I've always had someone to drive me to the airport, to help me locate things in the airport and get on the plane and all of those things. This time I don't. I'm on my own, but then again, it's just I only have one layover, and that's in Amsterdam. That should be doable. They speak pretty great English in Amsterdam. And they do in most airports and stuff. It's not like I'd have issues no matter where I went. The point more so is that it's not as scary as it feels. But it's still a little scary. And then combine that with the fact that I have to leave the cat at home. Can't bring him with me. Can't afford to have him taken proper care of. And also, he wouldn't like that. He's scared of other animals. Like, really, he's scared of cats, dogs. I think birds are the only thing he's not scared of. And insects, of course. Those he likes to play with. Insects and arachnids, he plays with them. But, yeah. He would hate being at a pension. He can't be at my parents' place because my mom's allergic, and also they have the dog. And so I'm very limited. Which means he's gonna get some... I bought the good feed too. I'm really making sure to spoil him. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I don't actually have that much more to say. I feel like I've been running in circles around myself for a while now. So I hope you get my point. I hope you don't judge me too harshly, because I'm already judging myself a lot. And it's not the easiest thing in the world. So please be gentle on me. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You could like the video for me trying my best. You could subscribe in order to make sure that my cat is okay. You'll listen to more episodes, and then you could comment about how I should take care of my pet. But in a good way, right? Like, tell me something I can do for him over summer. So, and I don't mind spending a little money, especially not if it's something that I can use again. It's just I don't have $1,200, and I especially don't have $1,200 to use at a one-time thing. So, it's been fun talking to you guys. I'm gonna try my best to be a respectable cat owner. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.